Well, hi, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you all are doing well. Well, grab your girlfriend and girlfriends, your pen and paper, because guess what? I got another amazing guest coming on here, and she's going to drop some amazing nuggets. So I'm hoping you guys, oops, sorry. I hope you guys are ready for it. So, first and foremost, I wanted to welcome you to Envision Me Talk Show, the show where we come on every week and we are here to empower, inspire, and get you going to your what's next. Now, the reason why I'm always fumbling over what's next because everyone's like, well, what is our what's next? I'm like, it could be anything. It could be that you're going one for another job or you want to climb the corporate ladder. Or you want to go out here and you want to have your own business, but just don't know how to do it. Or better yet, you want to do something, but you don't know. Well, you're in the perfect place. You have here a tribe that can help you, as well as you have here amazing speakers, as the one I will have in a moment, that can guide you through to your what's next. But knowing that we're here for you so you can live the best life that you want to live, right? Don't that sound cool? And I always get the question, well, why did I create this? And I first was, well, why not? But then the second one was because when I was sitting in a corporate space, I didn't even know what my what's next was. And I didn't even have I did have people to talk to or even guide me, but I didn't even know, and I was living everybody else's dreams and didn't even know my dreams. And I needed to know that it's okay for me to live my dream and everyone else's can come after me. And so once I started figuring out it's okay to live me for me to be first and everyone else is afterwards, it's okay. Once I got to knowing that it was okay, I was out the pocket running. I was trying to figure out, well, what do I want to do? And I wanted to do everything, but I couldn't do it all. But knowing that I had the support was what I needed. And so now you have the support and you don't have to go any further. Before I bring on my guests, I would also like to let you know tonight's show is sponsored by Vision Made. Will be having a woman empowerment conference here in Columbus, Ohio. We are super excited. So mark your calendar for August the 6th. Yes, August the 6th, and it starts at 10 a.m. and it ends at 2. We have amazing guests coming on that we'll be talking about some important topics that we feel that it's necessary to talk about. But we're going to have fun. We're even having a laugh yoga speaker. I can't wait for you guys to meet it. But we have so much going on coming up that you'll get to hear more about what's going on in the conference. So I will drop it in the feed on how you can get you a ticket. We have a VIP where you'll even get to doing some network as well. So, without further ado, let me bring you on tonight's amazing guest. Uh oh, she left. Oh, oh well. Hopefully, she will come back. But in the meantime, so I want to ask everybody, what is your win for this week? I'm all about win. I'm all about celebrating. So tell me what is your win for the week, and I will tell you my win for the week. And so as we are sitting here, I'll wait for my guests to come on. But I wanted to talk about. I think it's so important that we talk about how do we empower our dreams and our goals. And I thought it was important that we talk about it because did you guys catch last week? Oh my goodness! I think we've been doing some amazing work with Tasha. The event by Tasha, where her vendors were coming on, and you got to hear their stories. And so I thought today was important to hear about now that you've heard their stories, now we can work on how to empower your dream. And we can do that in so many ways. But before we can even talk about how to empower your dreams and your goals, we need to talk about the obstacles that we face. And obstacles is faced in so many ways. But the ones that we always talk about here is the three F's, and that's fear, fault, and failure. And then they bring on their cousin doubt, right? How many times have you heard, well, I'm fearful of if I started, I will be judged. Is that you? Or better yet, how many times you hear that if I start and I fail, then what? Or lastly, it's your fault that you failed and then you keep to yourself. And I say those and I give those statements. I would love to hear which one of those apply to you. So if you drop a one in there, if those apply to you, or if you drop a two and it doesn't apply to you, I would love to hear that. And the reason why I'm glad we're talking about it today. Hopefully, like I said, if our guest comes back on, but I want us to talk about it because so many times I've heard women in particular said that they faced one of the three F's, which then has led them to not do anything. And that's what we want to get past. And so I want to dig deep on why do we do that? And I know that we as women are always very judgmental on what's going on, or we're so worried about what the other people are doing and we're comparing ourselves to their work. And that is why we are where we are. Some of us are where we are because we're so worried about what's going on around us and not paying attention, the focus on us. And I'm always saying to everybody, well, if did you think Walmart did that? Seriously, do you think Walmart here in Columbus, Ohio, we have Kroger's? Do you think Wendy's? Do you think McDonald's is so focused on what's going on with the competitors that they're like, "Oh, if I see them doing it, I'm not going to do that." Is that you? I get it. I used to do it. But the only way you can get over to your what's next so you can live your best life is you have to go through it. And I'm always using the example of Beyonce because she's always talking about she loves to face fear and that she will face fear and she will grow from it. So I'm getting the question of, well, how do you face fear? First and foremost, you start doing some inner work, right? Our inner critic it's very loud. And the only way you can control that inner critic is you need to do some mindset work. Now, everyone's like, oh, I do that all the time. But how often do you do it? Once in a while? Every now and then? Do you do it on paper? Do you do it electronically? Now, me personally, I like to write mine down on paper because it's more physical, right? It's more tangible. So that's what I like to do. And I do it every day. And I even start out with, how do I feel? And I think that's important. And why is it important to talk about how I feel? We don't recognize, we as women are going 90 miles and more, or more, should I say, and we don't stop and take care of us. And the only way you're going to get to empower your goals and dreams is recognizing what is going on around you and allowing to silence the inner critic. And how do you do that? You have to do mindset work. You have to sit down with you, write it on paper. Or if you're like the millenniums that likes to do electronically, but just do it. So many women like, yeah, I do it, but I stopped. And I'm always asking why. Why did they stop? And it was because truthfully, the reason why they stopped, they got to a point where they were getting close to what really is holding them back. And it's something hurtful. And I want us to talk about that pain, because the only way we're going to get past and the only way we're going to be able to work on living our best life is we have to face the pain. So that's number two. So we're going to face fear and we're going to face the pain. It hurts, but it allows you to grow. And the only way you're going to be able to grow is to face it. I know. I used to run from it. I used to run from fear. I used to run from the pain, the knowing that I was satisfying everybody else's dreams, but not mine. Mine was nowhere to be found until I had some amazing friends that sat down with me. And so I'm your friend to sit down with you and ask you, are you working on your goal? What is your what's next? You don't know? Well, let's start working on it now. And let's one, face fear. Let's two, let's grow from fear. And let's also face the pain that we are facing. And pain comes in different ways. I'm not talking about the physical pain. I'm talking about the mental pain of guilt, right? The pain of what happens if I get successful? Do you know how many times I've gotten that question? Pam, what if I become successful? What am I going to do? You're going to keep living. You're going to keep moving forward. Then the next question I get is, but I feel selfish. Oh, great. That is great. Yay. That is an awesome win. Keep it going. But I want you to know that, once you face these pains, once you face and it hurts, but only way you can grow is to face it. And number three, I want you to understand that sometimes, and I think we talked about it in last week's show with one of the guests. We talked about it's okay to build your table for you, not allow society, not allow your community to grow your table, but grow it to you build your table and you allow only four four people to come to your table. Why do I say it's so important to empower your dreams and your goals? Because once you bring some more than the four, it gets kind of busy and you lose focus on you and you start focusing on others. So what I am charging you with is create the table you want so you can live your best life, but only create chairs for four people. And those four people have to motivate you. They have to hold you accountable. They have to inspire you and they have to challenge you. And if they don't do any of those, they don't have to do them all, but if they don't do any of those, then they're not for you. So, my question to you is, what is your goal? What is your dream? Is your dream to live your best life where you can travel? I just had a conversation with someone before here, and we kind of were doing their vision board. We were talking about, what do they see themselves doing after their retirement, which I was a little jealous because they get to retire in June. But I wanted to ask them, what is your what's next? What do you see yourself doing? And they saw themselves traveling. Can you imagine setting yourself up now to travel? So I asked them, how are they going to travel? How are they getting themselves prepared for traveling? Do they want to travel for 6 weeks? Do they want to travel for a month? I mean, what is their goal? And they were like, well, no one really asked me. I'm like, well, guess what? We're going to do that today. And they were like, but I have to get myself together, meaning I have to get my life together, got to get my health together. You still have time. It's never too late. Ask my other team. I always used to tell them the event could start at 9 o'clock, but guess what? I still have until 8:59 to figure it all out. So my point is, it's never too late. And you always have time to do it. So my question to you is, what is your goal and how are you going to do it? Now we already talked about we're going to face our fear. So we're going to do some inner work and we're going to work on the inner critic. We're going to also the pain. And the pain is not all about the physical, it's about the mental pain, the guilt. And, I had a client that even talked about, what happens if I become successful and everybody else is where they are? It's okay. Then I also talked about what is it? Let's talk about your goal. So many of us, I know for me, I have so many goals that I want to accomplish. And I'm always writing them down. So I have books of goals everywhere. And not everything is for you. And maybe for somebody else. But that's okay. But long as you're working on living your best life, whatever you see it to be. And that's why we also talk about our win for the week. Because our win is the goal that you have set a goal for the week and you accomplished it. Now I know it's Wednesday, but you still have time to do it. But I love to hear that. I love to shout you out on what is your goal for this week. Do you need help? If you need help, drop it in the feed and let me know what is your help. What is your ask? I'm here to help you. So I hope that this has helped you so you can go after and empower your dreams and your goals, knowing that you have to face your fear, which means that you have to quiet the inner critic. You have to face the pain. And I'm not talking about the physical pain, I'm talking about the mental pain. I know it hurts, but we're all about here to stretch you. So I want to know, what is your goal for your what's next so you can live your best life? And if you don't know, then let's sit down and talk about it. So, as we normally do at this part of the show, we always stop and we always talk about doing getting personal. And I thought this would be perfect time to get a little personal with you. And so, with that being said, here at Vision Made, we have been growing leaps and bounds. Oh my goodness, as you've seen for the last couple of months, last month or so, I'll say a couple months, I've had more than one guest on. I've had three. One time I even had four. But I thought it was important for you to hear their story because, as they always say, your story or the next person will empower, inspire the individual to go after their what's next. So that's why I did it. And I thought it was important because I wanted to make sure I am serving you the right way. And I had to ask, was I doing it right? I had to ask, am I on the right track? And I was. I was been told that I am. If you feel that I'm not, please drop me a note because I'm all about empowering, inspiring you to go after your what's next. And so, as I said before, we are growing leaps and bounds. So one thing that's going on in Vision Made, we are having a amazing woman conference here in Columbus, Ohio. Mark your calendar. It is going to be on, look, I'll even put it in here for you, August the 6th from 10 to 2. And so get your calendar out. And I'm getting so many questions on, well, who is going to be the speaker and what are we going to do? And so, one thing, look, I can give you a little hint on what we're doing. So, on VIP night, yes, we have two. So, you can come general admission, which is Sunday, or you can get a VIP, which is Saturday. And so on Saturday, we're going to do a little networking event. I think it'll be fun. It's going to be laid back, but I'm also going to have a laugh yoga expert. So, yes, laugh yoga. So, if you're interested in grabbing you a ticket, I will drop it in the feed on how you can gain access to one of those tickets. Well, before I go into the book on the shelf, let me bring on our amazing guests. Hey, lady, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hi, Pamela. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh,
Oh,
but I can hear you.
oh my goodness.
It's okay.
I'm going to try to put you on Bluetooth and see if I can hear you that way.
Okay. So as we are waiting to get the tech, and you guys know we always have technical difficulties. So with that being said, does anyone have any questions? Or better yet, what is your win for this week? I have one where Miss Perry says she's connected with the chiropractor, and that's amazing because her and I've been, she's been trying to connect with some mid-level providers, and man, she's had faced some obstacles, but look, she has made it through. So great job. I'd love to hear everybody else's win, and then you'll get to hear our wins as well. Can you hear me, Kimberly? If not, it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and talk about book on the shelf. So the book on the shelf had all started about, I believe, in empowering and then as well as expanding our minds. Everyone's always talking about, well, why are we doing that? Kimberly, can you hear me? Okay. And so that with that being said, I believe in all about empowering, inspiring ourselves to grow and go to the next to our what's next. And so with that being said, I am reading, ooh, gained a new business. Good job. Congratulations, Miss Tammy. That is awesome. Yay. You rocking. So, with that being said, the book on the shelf. Now, those of you who know me or may not know me, I love reading books, right? But I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I don't read. I listen to Audible books. And so right now I'm listening to Power, which is it talks about how we use our inner power and how it is projected into the universe, which I think is so important. Um, hold on here. And so with that being said, we all are out here and I want us to expand our mind. And so that is why Book on the Shelf is here. So, as I said before, the book that I am reading is Power. Yeah, The Power. And The Power talks about how, and I remember I talked about our inner critic, but it talks about how we use our energy, how basically how we manifest what we want. And would if you have negative energy, the universe feels the negative energy and you will not get what you're asking for. So it was so profound because I am learning how to manifest and being intentional on what I want. But and I had to really step back because I'm like, am I doing it? Am I really doing it, or is it not working? And it was because I wasn't being intentional. So I'm very intentional on everything that I do, all that I say, and who is around me. But Power is so good. And then another book that I am also reading is Speak Your Way to Cash. Oh my goodness. That book, the author of the book is Ashley Kirkwood. It is so good. Spinning Wheels. Yeah. And I just really had to sit down and I had to get focused with me in order so that Vision Made can become successful. And knowing that I don't have the control, the ultimate control is over somebody else, right? But I understand, and I had to understand that. We as women sometimes don't like to give the control over others. So, yes. So that's where I am learning to sit down and being still and being quiet with me, and it's okay. Not only do we do book on the shelf, but this part of the show, we always talk about self care. And I feel that self care is so important because we as women, including myself, are so busy that we miss that. And so, one thing I can say is one thing that I am working on for the self care is slowing down. And you will not believe what I've started doing. I've actually started using a time clock on me for me and tracking the things that I do during the day. And I even tracked down to tonight's podcast, down to I had two prior meetings and talked about how are the meetings impacting Vision Made. Also, I even do books. That is, I even put on that I'm reading 15 minutes. I try to read 15 minutes because I have three books. So I do 15 minutes three times a day. And I write down that I do in the books. I had to do that because I wanted to get control of my time because I was noticing that I was giving time away and not giving it was not being used or given to the right entity of my life or individuals in my life. And I need to shift it back and turn it back, turn that ship back around. So, and it was hard. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this has become the most hardest task that I have put on myself. And you may laugh, but only reason why I said it was the hardest task for me to do was because I always thought go, 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 right? And I'm one of those people that we used to be up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and still working, but noticing when I got up for the next day, it was non-productive. Is that you? And the reason why I ask that is because I know there's some other women that I talked to, excuse me, not used to, that I talked to that we would be up that late. And then the next day would be back at it again, but not taking time out for or take a break and make that break intentional for you. So I've started doing that, and it's helped. And I even put it on my calendar. I have given it a title and how long I was going to do it, and nothing can be put in that slot or can be interrupted. And then my phone is silenced during that time. Another self-care I've started is my phone now is shut off at 9:30. Now those who need me, they've already know how to get a hold of me and things like that. But I have become so intentional at 9:30. My phone automatically goes off and it goes to silence, and I don't answer it or pick it up until in the morning when it's time for me to get up and get ready for work. And those two items has done some wonders for me. I'm not going to kid you. It's all about getting connected to me and knowing that the boundaries that I created are they're purposeful and they're for a purpose. So that has helped me tremendously. I put my phone aside. I did it at 8, but I felt that I was missing something. I know that I understand. I did have an 8, but I moved it till 9:30. I moved it till 9. So yeah, after our show, it'll automatically flip and I don't answer it after that point. And I did that purposely so I can have time for me to wind down and get connected. And then also too, do you know on my to-do list for tomorrow, I can whiz it off to you like that. Easily, easily. I already even have my paper sitting on my desk ready for me to write down what to do. What is my to-do list? What didn't I get done today that will go on my to-do list for tomorrow? That is how intentional I am using my time. So I'm hoping I hope in these tips will help you, empower you to get you to your dreams. We even talked about, remember, earlier in the show, you guys have to check it out if you missed it, but we talked about facing fear, facing the pain. And I'm not talking about the physical pain, I'm talking about the mental pain to get you to your what's next so you can live your best life. And then also creating time for you, right? And so, with that being said, I also wanted to let you all know tonight, man, time's going by fast. Tonight's show was sponsored or is sponsored by Vision Made's Women's Conference. It will be held here in Columbus, Ohio. Super excited on August the 6th from 10 to 2. If you're interested in getting a ticket, let me know. I'll drop it in the feed on how you can get access to that. It's going to be super fun. I'm having some amazing woman speakers that are coming in here, flying in here to Columbus, and we have some juicy topics that we're going to talk about. And then we're having VIP day, which is going to be on Saturday, where I'm going to have the a laugh yoga speaker, and this is going to be fun. She actually got to practice that with me, so I can't wait for you guys to see how it works, but knowing that it's something that we can incorporate into our day-to-day life. So I'm hoping that today has been a night that you guys got to see a little bit about what I am doing, understand that I am doing this for you. And so if there is something that or a topic that you would like to hear about, as I said today, I thought was so important for us to talk about how you can empower your dreams and goals, and know that you set a goal every week. That's why I'm always asking you, what is your win for the week? So if you don't have a win, if you haven't told me what your win is for this week, still drop it in the feed. I can still shout you out. I can give you the shout out. I can give you the support. If you're needing help on how to get to your goal, because our dreams and goals are so big, but you don't know how to get it to, the little small size so you can work on it weekly, drop me a DM and I definitely will do that. Because as I said before, 2023 is going to be like no other. And it's going to be where I am going to challenge you or to stretch you to go after your what's next. So I want to thank you all for joining me. But before I go, I want you to understand that you only have one life to live, and you need to live that life to the fullest, because tomorrow's not a guarantee. And if you're needing help on living that life or getting to your what's next, creating your vision board or your vision plan, drop it in the feed and know that it's your life and not anyone else. Until next week, when I bring on another amazing guest, I'm so excited for them. I take care of yourself. See you next week. And thanks. Bye.